Fish floated up and turned white. Animals fled one after another, and earthquake clouds appeared in the sky. These earthquake signs spread on the internet are clearly stated. Are they reliable? Whether earthquake clouds are related to earthquakes has not been scientifically proven. If we can see some clues before the earthquake, we can minimize casualties. Are there really signs before an earthquake strikes? The reporter interviewed geological experts exclusively immediately after the earthquake in Turkey and summarized 6 earthquake signs. The first category is microscopic precursors, which must be measured by instruments such as ground deformation, changes in the Earth's magnetic field, and gravitational field. The other type is macroscopic precursors, which can be detected by human senses, such as the ups and downs and muddiness of well water, abnormal behavior of animals, etc. 1. Well water gushes out. Groundwater includes well water, spring water, etc. The main abnormalities are muddy, bubbling, temperature rise, discoloration, taste change, sudden rise and fall, and sudden depletion or gush of spring water. 2. Animal abnormalities. The animal is overexcited, frightened, or sluggish. For example, cows and horses panic and bark, fish float in groups and jump out of the water, etc. 3. Fog appears. Mist from underground appeared before the earthquake. This kind of mist has various colors such as white, black, yellow, etc. Sometimes it is colorless, and it often appears within a few days to a few minutes before the earthquake, accompanied by strange smell, sound or high temperature. 4. Abnormal ground sound. When an earthquake occurs, longitudinal waves radiate from the source, causing the air to vibrate and make sounds, just like the sound of cannons and thunder, or the driving of heavy vehicles and strong winds. 5. Abnormal earth light. The light from the ground before the earthquake was mainly red and white, different shapes, such as ribbon, spherical, columnar, and so on. It usually appears hours to minutes before the earthquake and lasts for a few seconds. 6. Electromagnetic anomalies. Household appliances such as radios, televisions, fluorescent lamps, etc. are abnormal. The radio is out of order. The fluorescent lamps are self-illuminating. The electronic alarm clock is out of order, etc. It also includes abnormal operation of electrical equipment, such as abnormal microwave stations and interference with radio plants. However, experts also remind that the earthquake is not the only reason for these anomalies, and specific problems need to be analyzed in detail. Why are earthquakes so hard to predict? The main difficulty in earthquake prediction is that the causes of earthquakes are complex, and it is difficult to distinguish which factor finally triggered the earthquake. Speaking of this, we can't help asking whether the earthquake in Turkey is related to the continuous shelling and bombing of Russia and Ukraine, which caused the nearby crust to shake, thus triggering the earthquake there. Is there such a possibility? What will happen to the environment after an earthquake? Mudslides are closely related to rock destruction and rainfall. Earthquakes cause rocks to break and loosen more easily, which will increase the probability of mudslides. After an earthquake, more attention should be paid to secondary disasters, such as aftershocks, landslides, building collapses, and mudslides. Finally, the distribution of seismic zones in the world. Seismic zone refers to the zone where earthquakes are concentrated. There are 3 main seismic zones on the Earth: the Circum-Pacific Seismic Zone, the Eurasian Seismic Zone, and the Sea Ridge Seismic Zone. 1. The Circum-Pacific Seismic Zone is like a huge ring, going south along the east coast of the Pacific Ocean in North America, Alaska, the United States, passing through western Canada, California and western Mexico, reaching Colombia, Peru, and Chile in South America, and then turning westward from Chile, cross the Pacific Ocean to reach the eastern border of Oceania, turn north in the eastern waters of New Zealand, pass through Fiji, Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan province of China, the Ryukyu Islands, the Japanese Islands, and the Aleutian Islands, and return to Alaska in the United States. Circling the Pacific Ocean also separates the continent from the ocean. In this seismic zone, a series of trenches, islands, and volcanoes surround the Pacific Ocean in a horseshoe shape. About 80% of the world's shallow earthquakes, 90% of intermediate earthquakes, and almost all deep earthquakes are concentrated in this zone. The seismic energy released by it accounts for about 80% of the global seismic energy. The Circum-Pacific Seismic Zone mainly affects China's eastern regions, such as Taiwan and Fujian. 2. The Eurasian Seismic Zone is also called the Mediterranean Himalayan Seismic Zone. with a total length of more than 20,000 kilometers, mainly distributed in the Eurasian continent. The Eurasian seismic zone starts from Indonesia, passes through the west of Indochina Peninsula and China's Yunnan, Guizhou, Sichuan, Qinghai, and Tibet regions, and crosses the Himalayas. They meet in Pamir, and then extend westward into India, Pakistan, Nepal, Afghanistan, and Iran, Turkey to the northern coast of the Mediterranean Sea, and stretches all the way to the Azores in the Atlantic Ocean. The earthquakes that occur here account for about 15% of the global earthquakes. Please note that Turkey and Iran are located on this Eurasian seismic zone. The seismic energy released by the Eurasian seismic zone accounts for 15% of the total seismic energy in the world, mainly shallow and medium focus earthquakes, and lacks deep focus earthquakes. 3. The Sea Ridge seismic zone is distributed in the Sea Ridge areas in the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean, that is, submarine mountains, and has little impact on land. Have you ever experienced an earthquake yourself? How much do you know about earthquake occurrence and prevention knowledge? Welcome to leave us a message in the comment area below.